What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Wallet Monkey channel, where we give you all the credit intel you need to grow your wallet. What I wanted to do is, here we are halfway through 2022. I wanted to give you a 2022 definitive guide to American Express credit cards. That's right, all the sauce, no fluff, no junk, just everything you need to know right now to take actionable steps to schmooze American Express and get into the ecosystem and get the cards that you want, right? That's simple. So I'm gonna go over the big pieces, and then you can obviously catch up on all the little stuff down to the most minutia details over here at walletmonkey.io. It's completely free. This is a guide that is still apparently up. If you know the recent dramas with Navy Fed, then yeah, hopefully this stays up and we don't deal with similar issues there. But let's start at the top. If you're brand new to American Express and this is your first card, you'll get two hard pulls, one on Experian, one on TransUnion. This is newer. This never used to exist. Once you're in the ecosystem, for the most part, you should not receive a hard pull at all. You might, but if you did, it would just be Experian. And on credit limit increases, it's always a soft pull. And keep this in mind too, they're pulling from at least a 30-day prior credit report. So if I am trying to get approved in May, they're pulling from April. Keep that in mind when you're going to get credit limit increases, when you're going to get new cards, is that they might not be pulling a fresh report. Now, this couldn't be more true for American Express. They seem to be the worst with it in terms of when they're pulling the last report. So it looks like they are only soft pulling once a month to get that fresh report to then use with making credit decisions. Next, there are several rules here that we need to outline. But before we do that, let's talk about max exposure. It's debated upon a little bit, but the max exposure seems to be that you can get 4 or 5 consumer cards or personal cards total. Across the entire ecosystem, you can get 14 cards, 4 credit cards, 10 charge cards. Now, again, it might be 11, 12, maybe 15. It's just gonna depend on your credit score, but those are kind of the standards set down the middle. Just like most people are not gonna get 5 consumer cards. They're gonna probably get 3 or 4. So if you got a better credit score, you're over 800s, you're making over 6 figures a year, you've got a mortgage on your credit profile, you've got a thick credit profile, you've had personal loans before, you've got, car loans on there, then your credit profile looks better than a lot of other people's. Okay, let's get into the rules. There's 61.6 3x rule, which you see right here, which means that you can get a credit limit increase. Let's roll down here. You can request a CLI credit limit increase at 61 days of a brand new account or 6 months after your last credit limit increase. This is the 61.6 rule. Now, where does the 3x rule come in? You can ask for 3x your current limit on the credit limit increases, 3 times the limit. Here is an example of that. You can dig into that yourself. Now let's get into probably the 2 most controversial rules that are unwritten rules but are parroted by a lot of people in the credit space that might not be true. And I'm going to give you examples of that in just a second. But they are the 1 in 5 rule and a 2 in 90 rule. The 1 in 5 is 1 card every 5 days. It's supposed to stop or help stop with identity theft, which makes total sense, but it also is supposed to stop with people who go on a app spree and slide through a bunch of cards before the institution figures out what's going on. So it tries to stop that as well, even though they don't say that. But let's be honest. 2 in 90 is can't have more than 2 cards in a 90-day period. Now, both of these rules, I can tell you, are not 100%. Mileage may vary, definitely, based on this. So, depending on when we drop this on the channel, but we've got a recent case study where we talk about this, and the guy lays out his journey with American Express, his brother's journey. I mean, this guy has helped his parents. I mean, this guy has helped like 3-4 people now. And all those people, they have broken these rules. Take it for what you will with these rules and what I just laid out. But I can tell you for a fact that these are not set in stone. None of this stuff usually is. I will also say that if you did want to press this and try your luck, you want to mix charge, credit, personal, business. It just makes sense. Like, you can get away with pushing more cards through in a 1-week period or, especially a 90-day period. That's absurd. But it'd be different if the rule probably applies 100% of the time if you tried to go back-to-back credit cards on your personal. Why would you do that? But if you slid through 1 personal credit, personal charge, a couple business charge, I mean, again, the rules might be a little bit more flexible. If you got over an 800 credit score, you're making over 6 figures a year, well documented, you don't have to do POI, right? Paying taxes, all of that, you got a thick profile. Again, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, next, how to get an additional Amex card or American Express card. Also, how to know if you qualify for another card is pretty simple. They have a pre-qualification process. It's baked in. As soon as you get into the ecosystem, you'll be able to go and check what offers you've got. If it says that you're pre-approved, then you're pre-approved. If it says at the top, applying to expand your membership with us is easy, then it means you should probably wait and that you're not pre-approved for anything. And you can double check this, go in incognito mode in your browser, or completely log out of your American Express account, go into a different browser and try and use the pre-qualification tool, which you'll find on the credit card page. Go all the way down to the bottom. And if they find no offers, well, there you go. There's your confluence. Easiest way into the ecosystem is if you've been blacklisted or jailed before. I would say jail, you can still get in. Blacklisted, probably not. Financial review, we'll get into that in just a second as well. But the easiest way in, if you're brand new and you got lower credit score, is high yield savings account. Maybe use the checking account. On the business side, you can come in through Cabbage. You can come in, I believe they've got a couple other tools for the business side as well. Come in with something and start to create transactional history. Start to get your name into the system, right? You could do the same thing with an AU, authorized user. Get into the system, even though you're not gonna get all that history with American Express, but get into the system, start transactional history, bang. Now, the easiest card to get would be one of the co-branded cards. Now, the assumption is that it's maybe different underwriters. We don't know, but like the Delta Gold card, Delta Silver, Platinum, whatever, all of those are much easier to get when you have a lower credit score, 660, 680, right? Than trying to get Blue Cash Preferred or into the basic cards, right? Now let's talk about maximum exposure limit and blacklisting, financial reviews, all that. Okay, 4506 is the most dreaded thing in the credit space, is because essentially what that is a credit review. It is a you signing off and allowing them to go to the IRS to pull your latest tax returns and get additional information on how much money you're making. So if you're lying on your applications, this you're definitely terrified of. To trigger a financial review, there are some things that people have noticed that cause this. And there's been a lot of amazing people in the comments section that have brought this up along the way. Go back and watch just this whole American Express playlist that we've got. It's incredible, right? But the assumption is that a total aggregate of $35,000 or higher on the personal is what triggers a financial review. Or requesting more than $25,000 at one time on one card in a CLI triggers it. I've heard, just like you, the different numbers. 35K, 40K, I've even heard 80K in terms of maximum exposure for American Express. It doesn't matter the actual number. I would say just look at like the overarching thing that we're telling you, and as long as you're not breaking this, then I think you could probably even push that number. But again, that number, just take it for what it is. But clicking on the spending power button too often, especially on the charge card side, right? That's another one. Trying to make too many large purchases, having returned payments, or changing income levels too drastically on your credit profile or in the updating your annual income within your profile on American Express. All of these things trigger it. So what is this showing to American Express, the institution? Instability. So as long as we just show stability, we're good. We're okay. Like I'll show you, I'll explain a common one is you get the charge card, which is technically an unlimited spend, but it's not because there's a soft cap on that. So if I go out and try and charge a $30,000 car on that card, it's not gonna go through. Now I could call them and tell them I got this big purchase, maybe, probably not though. We wanna season that card up a little bit. And then as long as you're using it, paying it, using it, paying it, using it, paying it, then they start to raise the soft limit. All right, so you can go and get the rest of the information and deep dive into American Express right on over at walletmonkey.io. Thank you so much for tuning into the video. Comment below if you got something to say, you feel like I missed something, you got some extra data points you would like to share. Comment below, hit the like button to get this video in front of more people. And if you're brand new here and you like this sort of thing, personal finance, credit cards, all that good stuff, then stick around. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, turn it to all, and be on the lookout, more videos coming soon.